Michael Joe seems to be teaming up with Frank to start a war, while Lucy Stella seems to be trying to stop a war. Um, Quite the dichotomy this season. Michael, were you looking forward to a specific avenue that Joe was taking, and maybe working more now that maybe working more with Rome this season to try to get Bumpy a little off his game?
Yeah, well, working with Rome, first of all, was a blast, and he's a terrific actor and a better person, and so those, that all that was fun. But I think you're right. I mean, Bumpy was partly responsible for Columbo having to go to prison, and so at the start of the season, he's pretty hell bent on revenge and settling the score. And so whomever he needs to team up with in order to accomplish those ends, he's more than willing to do that.
Lucy, why is Stella so empowered right now to take her father down and stop what's going on in the city?
I guess the empowerment has come through surviving a lot of trauma that she's sort of gotten to the point where there's nothing really to lose. She tried escaping through romances. She tried the idea of going to Paris, and then in the dynamic with Joe in season 3, she kind of realized that if she wanted freedom in New York, then she should use her smarts to, you know, try to become one of the bosses herself, and claim that power for herself so that she doesn't need to be afraid of her father or anyone else, but make people as scared of her as she used to be of them.
I was going to ask Michael, how far is Columbo willing to go in order to make his dreams come true and to get Bumpy down?
All the way. He'll stop at nothing. He'll stop at nothing. There's no obstacle too big. He is so determined to look. He's a wounded little boy at his core. This is a man that he looked up to, that he idolized in some ways, and I wanted to work with him last season, and the betrayal of the betrayal of your hero is particularly hurtful. And so I think Joe is there's nothing that's gonna bump him off that rail.
Lucy, is there any inner turmoil for taking her father down, or does she see herself as this is the only path now, and I see a future for myself? Here's what it's going to take, and father be damned.
I think that she's learned a very cutthroat and aggressive way of existing, and that in order to earn her father's respect, she needs to show him that she can be as smart, as manipulative, and as ferocious as he is. And I think that the inner turmoil around it, in her mind, it's for his own good. That she's stopping a war, and that she can actually handle things better than he can. And so there's an ego about it for sure. But I also think she's trying to prove something to him. She's trying to get his respect. And so I think the inner turmoil isn't so much about like doing something bad, because the idea of good and bad doesn't really exist for her anymore. That's like something that maybe she had in season 1, whereas now it's like, just, are you winning or are you losing?
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. Great.
Yeah.
Well, this is such a powerful season. Michael, is there a particular episode you really feel like shines or you're most proud of the work you put into it?
I mean, look, this season is, I think, the most explosive one we've done on this show, and it just starts off with a bang, and it is relentless. It doesn't let up, and so like the last 4 episodes, to me, kind of bleed into one giant crescendo or aria, if you will. So look, buy the ticket, take the ride, man. Stick around to the end, and you're gonna love it.
Lucy, this is such a special show for so many people because it's based in history and it's got so many incredible characters, and it's just fascinating to watch Is that what people tell you? What makes Godfather of Harlem so special?
Yeah, I do notice that when I talk to people on the street about it, like if someone recognizes me as Stella or something, that there's a real heart connection to it, that the fans are really invested. And I think as an actor in the show, I love it. I love watching everyone else in the show. When we watch the episodes, it's like so exciting to see what everybody else is doing,
Yeah.
the other storylines, and yeah.
All right, season four. Michael, are we stepping behind the director into the director seat for you, possibly?
On this show,
Yeah, of course. We'd love to
I
see you
mean,
direct an episode.
You
listen, that
should.
ain't up to me, but if given the opportunity, I would jump at it. I mean, just to be involved in with this group of storytellers in front of the camera, behind the camera, any part I can play in this world, I would be grateful